guys, welcome back to the journey. I hope you guys are doing very well today. If you are new to this channel, thank you so much for coming by. My name is Agnes. I am here to share my journey to financial independence, so please show me some love by subscribing to my channel. Now please remember that everything that I share on this channel is purely based on my own experience and knowledge and does not in any form constitute financial advice. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys a little story on how I ruined my credit record. With all money things, my story is really both practical and emotional. There was a lot of clear, tangible choices that I made that led to me ruining my credit score, but also there was a lot of emotions behind it. To tell you guys the story, I have to go back to exactly where it started. It all started in 2014 when I was in second year varsity, and I was wrapped around the idea of always trying to keep up, but in terms of how you dress, how you look. I wanted all the stuff that was trending and all that. And you know, in varsity there was kind of like a pressure. I don't know whether it was just in my head or it was actual pressure that I succumbed to. So I ended up opening a clothing account at Edgar's, and it was nice. The whole concept of getting stuff for free and then paying later was kind of like, it was nice. I was getting what I needed. I was getting what I thought I needed. Long story short, I then became addicted to this whole thing of impulse buying stuff on sale, buying stuff that you don't need. That I then, from with my Edgar's account, I ended up opening more accounts from different retailers. By the end of 2014, I think I had like 5 clothing accounts, and the following year, Standard Bank offered me a credit card, which I took, and it was a 5,000 Rand credit card. So I went and I withdrew all the money from the credit card, and I went and spent it on the worst thing ever. Yeah, I took the whole 5,000 Rand, I spent it on hair. I bought Brazilian hair, and the rest of the money, I think I just used it on going out, eating out, and all that kind of stuff. But okay, so after using all this money from the credit card, I then just started paying the minimum payment, which at the time I did not know that it only covers the fees and the interest and only like a fraction of the capital. So 2 years later, I came to realize that for this past 2 years, I've only paid like 10% of the capital, the capital amount that I owed, and the rest just went to interest and fees. So basically for 2 years, I was just paying to have a credit card, and not necessarily paying off my debt. And that's something I didn't know because I did not take my time to do my research before taking out the credit card. I did not read the agreement. I did not read the fees. I didn't know anything. I just took a credit card. I was like, free money. I used it, and that was it. And yeah, so I was meeting all my minimum payment on all my accounts. Everything was fine until 2019. I got married, got more responsibilities, and then one thing started happening after another. And then at some point, I couldn't pay my account anymore. I couldn't even pay the minimum payment, and everything just went into arrears. Yeah, that is how I got a very bad payment history. So yeah, it was all crazy because I never expected it to get to that point, because I thought I had everything under control until life happened, COVID happened, and I was not in control of anything anymore. So after most of my accounts went into arrears, I then started getting calls from collection, from all these people wanting their money back, and it was depressing. It was depressing to find that my habit, the bad choices that I did in the past has now brought me into this. But it's fine. It was all fine. I made a plan on how to repay it, and I have managed to pay it all back. But it's just that the behavior of not paying, all those missed payments are still there on my report, and now it's inhibiting me from getting a home loan. So yeah, that is basically how I came to this point where I'm now sitting here having to wait for a year or two for my record to come clean, because your payment history stays on your credit report for about 2 years. So now I have to wait for that long for my report to be clear before I can apply for a long-term loan, like a home loan. So yeah, the reason I'm sharing this story with you guys is because it's really disappointing. I have forgiven myself, but it's really disappointing to see that we tend to make choices based on our current situation, not necessarily thinking about the future. So in my case, I did make bad choices. I did let my emotion lead me into doing things that I'm now paying for. So yeah, I will do a whole video on how much exactly I was owing on clothing account and the credit cards. I will do a video on that. I will explain to you guys and how I paid it all. Just to share a few tips, if you are in debt, it's never too late. Do not be hopeless. You can always make a plan, and if you make a plan, you are determined to follow your plan, you will always come out of all those debts, even though it takes time. Because the problem with debt is that if you leave it for too long, the interest compounds over the months and the years, and it just becomes too much. So don't leave it until it's too late. Just try to tackle it bit by bit, and eventually you will get out of that vicious cycle. And yeah, don't just get into too much debt. If you are trying to build your credit score, which is something that everyone needs to do, you can get one account. You don't need much. Like I had like 5 clothing accounts, and then I had like a credit card. You don't need to get so many, you just need to get one and use that to your advantage. Credit cards are good because they really help you to build your credit score very fast. So don't just take it and use that money to feed your lifestyle. You'd rather use that money for something that is beneficial. Unless if you need it for emergency, then you should also have a plan. Before you take out this loan, you should have a plan on how to pay, on how you're gonna make the payment. Don't let the pressure that the society puts on us lead you into taking out any loan to feed your lifestyle. Live below your means. You should live below your means. You use the difference to invest and save. And the younger you start investing, the better. I really wish I started investing from the first day I got my paycheck, but it's never too late. Just remember that debt is addictive. I was once there. I was addicted to debt, and it's not a nice thing, because now I keep on thinking about all the money that I've spent on paying interest and fees. I'm like, oh, if only I was investing that money. But it's fine. We're not here to regret. We move forward. I really hope my story helps you in some way. And just remember that your ability to get debt in future is dependent on how you are building your credit history now. So take really good care of that. Don't just get credit because you want to get credit. Do that with a purpose, and just be more intentional with what you're doing. Be more intentional with how you're living your life. And yeah, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you really like this video, please give it a like, and if you loved it, please subscribe. Your support will help this video to go out there so that many people can watch and learn from my mistakes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again next week. Until then, bye. Stay well.